A 5-second delay and then we're good. Think we're live. Hi, everybody. I am Galit Ventura Rosen, and welcome to another week of Women Empowering Women. One of my favorite things to do as a women empowerment and business mentor and professional speaker is interview women entrepreneurs from all over the world. I am excited today to have Kristen White with us. Welcome, Kristen.
Hi, Galit. Thanks for having me on your program.
We were giggling a few minutes ago because I asked Kristen what I should write as her title. And a lot of us women entrepreneurs can relate that we are just so multi-talented that she just started laughing and I started laughing because sometimes we don't even know what we should write. So I'm going to try my best to just read 2 or 3 sentences of Kristen's bio and then turn it over to her to tell us a little bit more about all the amazing things that she's doing. I know, right? So Kristen White is a media personality, host of Mandela on Amazon Prime, and a documentary filmmaker. She is a producer of motivational speakers videos in Las Vegas, Rock the Stage Las Vegas, and works with personal development experts to create powerful and profitable online businesses.
You nailed it.
It's at least the start, right? So tell us a little bit more about what you do, because I know there's so much more than that.
You know, Galit, my background actually is in media. You know, I was a TV news journalist for more than a decade. And, you know, I just got tired of covering what I call the house fires, heartache, and homicide. I thought, you know, there has to be more than this. You know, I had my own small children at home, and I just wanted to shift. I wanted to have that kind of freedom that I think so many women want, which, you know, I call the laptop lifestyle. So, you know, you can be there to have flexibility in your schedule, raise your family, you know, work from different places. I mean, even like the carpool line. Oh, and, you know, so I just started to make that shift. And my first step was writing my first book, Mystic in a Minivan. And, you know, I learned a lot through that journey. And I think that's probably a really important point for all of the female entrepreneurs in your community, that, you know, you start somewhere. And, you know, so I wrote this book and had this holistic wellness center, and I was doing intuitive life coaching. And I realized that the 20 different practitioners who all had their own little businesses inside my holistic wellness center, nobody knew anything about video. Nobody knew anything about how to market themselves. Nobody even really knew how to get listed, you know, just locally, so that they could attract more clients. And I thought, gosh, you know, my background is in TV news. I'm all about getting the message out there and letting people know about what you're doing. And that's really, you know, more than 10 years ago, how it all began.
Yeah, and it's so interesting. As many women as I've interviewed, and I've probably interviewed about 50 or 60 now, a lot of us have such similar stories to our journey. And a lot of times it starts with, I want to have flexibility. I want to raise my children or be able to travel. I don't want to be bogged down in an office all day. So that free spirit side. And then the other side is that purpose side. And I love hearing every woman's story that I speak to, because there are always some type of parallels. The passion, the purpose, the giving back, the wanting to help, recognizing that there's something that others are not aware of or don't know. So it's so much fun. And I'm really excited about our topic today because it's near and dear to my heart. Kristen works with speakers, with authors. Give me some more of the people that you work with. Oh my God, I know you work with everybody.
Really, coaches, you know, my specialty, I have an agency, White Media Agency. Yes. So we are the premier agency for the transformational marketplace. So this is authors, speakers, coaches in health, wellness, personal development, spirituality, you know, all of those really yummy topics that so many of us want to contribute to.
And it's really about the visibility. So being a media agency, you really work with your clients on visibility, because visibility equals attracting your ideal client, which equals profits.
Right. I mean, truth of the matter is that visibility is the key. You know, I had a giveaway once for quite some time called the invisibility cure. You know, so if you are not out there in the world, if people can't see you, you know, if you're not doing things like what we're doing right now today, you stay invisible. And so if you're the world's best kept secret, guess what? No one's buying your books. No one's signing up for your retreats. No one's, you know, participating in your coaching program. And as a result, you don't get to share your gifts. So it really is just so critical to understand visibility. And then in addition to that, have a plan.
Oh,
You know,
yes.
you have to have a plan. You have to say, this is my visibility strategy. We're kind of getting into the tips already, but this is my visibility strategy for today, for this week, for this month. And it's consistent. So a perfect example is this program that you've created, Galit. You know, you have this program, it's on a regular basis. You've interviewed, you know, 60 plus women who are like all of us. And over time you build a following. And, you know, I did the same thing. I was a radio host on Vivid Life Network. And, you know, it was on Blog Talk Radio. And it ended up being one of the top networks. And I interviewed over 300 people,
Wow.
author, speakers, coaches, you know, people from Wayne Dyer, Doreen Virtue, Ram Dass, you know, all these really well-known people. And over time, I built that up to 85,000 subscribers. And it's really funny because my kids used to laugh. And then my husband, who I was dating at the time, you know, sometimes the show would come on, but we'd be at the dinner table. So I just put on my headset and do the show while everybody else was eating, because, you know, it wasn't live video like this, because I just didn't want to miss my time slot. You know, I was booked out 6 months in advance.
Yes. Yes. Oh my gosh, I'm so familiar with that.
Make it happen.
But that really is one of the first tips of visibility, is recognizing that the more that you're out there, the more that you're seen as the expert, the more that you're in front of your ideal client, the more opportunity you have that they're going to reach out and recognize you're the expert if that's what they need in their business. So that really is.
Yeah. I see. Yeah. Sorry to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
I'm excited about this topic.
I know. I'm the same way. Go ahead.
I think that, you know, the big thing to really remember is that people out there in the world are seekers. Okay. So they're seekers. And so as a result, you know, they are looking for seeking people who can have solutions to challenges that they have. So once they see you, you know, one time's not enough. They need like about really almost 9 touch points. So those touch points are maybe a little live show like this. And then, oh, wow, they see you on somebody's telesummit. And then they opt into your list. And then you send them 6 videos. And then you invite them to another summit or something. And then before you know it, you're finally on that discovery call where you're having the sales conversation. So, you know, these don't happen from one Facebook post and then, you know, cha-ching, you have a new client. Like, the world isn't like that. You have to build rapport, and then that earns your credibility. And then people work with you because they know, like you, and trust you. You know, they feel this
so important
presence. And so I think people who don't understand that it's more of a sequence, they give up too soon. You know, I've been doing this business, like I said, more than a decade. And, you know, just recently I got a private client. You know, my private clients run about $15,000 or more. And she's like, yeah, I've been following you for 9 years. You know, we met at a retreat 9 years ago. I'm
not surprised by that, because a lot of times someone just isn't ready, or they need time, or they need to be. So yeah, 9. Okay. Well, wow. That's a long time. That's a commitment.
You know, I was like, wow, you know, but I have a pretty decent sized list. It's not gigantic. It's a little over 30,000, but I mean, there are people who've been on there since the beginning. You know, back when I was an intuitive life coach, you know, I studied with a lot of the teachers through Hay House, like Sonia Chiquette and Doreen Virtue. And, you know,
a great experience.
It was wonderful. You know, I went down to Brazil and was a medium of the Casa of John of God. So a lot of my original journey was very deep in spiritual teaching, being a spiritual teacher, and, you know, helping other people through using intuitive gifts and skills. You know, that's why I wrote the book Mystic in a Minivan. But I think that, I also have these strong analytical skills, like all of us women. A lot of us are just problem solvers because we have to be. I have 4 kids. Okay. Like, one's a stepdaughter and then
I
everyone
got
else is
3.
mom.
I'm very
Right. So you
familiar.
got to be problem solvers.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's all you do all day long, and it doesn't stop. Mine's 21, and I'm still going.
Right. I have one of those too. We're right in that same, wheelhouse. And so if we're not problem solvers, and that's, I think, really where the pivot came in my business. It's like, all right, guys, men and women were in my private practice, at the wellness center. I'm like, let me help you, and then one thing led to the next. And, now it's been several thousand authors, mostly authors, authors then go on to become speakers and coaches. But that's really, my passion is let me help you either, create that online business, that business beyond your book, or let me help you get more visible so that you sell more books, or, people take your coaching programs or come to your retreats. And what are the creative strategies we can create to achieve those goals?
Oh, I love it. So what other tips can we give those watching about becoming more visible?
I think one of the things too, sorry, my hair is like driving me
I
crazy.
know I'm doing this every 3
Yeah.
seconds.
So I
It's because
apologize
we
for
can
my
see
flailing
ourselves.
hands and my hair.
Sometimes we need to turn off our camera and just see the other person, because I'm doing this. I know it's the video.
I know I'm sorry, everybody, but yeah, I think the other tip
This is part of the fun of this interview. We're so lax. Don't even worry. They're so used to me being goofy at this point. You're good.
I know. Absolutely.
We don't do serious in our businesses. Business is too much fun.
Yeah, exactly. If we were like my 21-year-old daughter, would all go like this.
Oh no, see, I got you make funny faces.
Yeah. So I would say the other visibility strategy is actually something that's it's pretty simple, but it's significant and it's important. Go out and have a photographer take a lifestyle photo of you, a lifestyle photo shoot. This is not, your yearbook photo or, like those photos that you take if you're in a corporation, all the business suit. This is this photo that positions you as this expansive visionary, whatever your brand is. Go do a lifestyle photo shoot.
And they're so much fun too.
Oh, they're so much
Forget
fun.
the hat. I mean, they are fun. You feel like a supermodel.
Absolutely.
You get the hair guy, makeup guy, and the clothes person. Spoil yourself. You want a reason just to feel like a supermodel for a day? Just go do this, because what it does is it really catches your personality. I did my first one about a year and a half ago. I'm almost ready for another one. And I like to do them every few years because I change. My personality changes. But they're so much fun.
I did mine in Malibu. We were on the set of Amazon. We were on the set of my show that's on Amazon Prime, Mandala.
How fun.
And the camera guy was like, step outside. And so we were in this wonderful, like, architectural house called the Eagle's Nest. It's very famous in Malibu. And he had me kind of stand outside and put my fingers on the glass and like look out at the ocean. And
I saw that picture. I was like, gorgeous.
Who is that person?
Right. That's the one we used to promote this. It's gorgeous.
It was just this incredible, like, fun photo. And I liked it because it felt like, more, I'm always about the future. I'm very intuitive and I'm a futurist. So I see a lot of things in the future, and then later they come to pass. And so I liked it because it matched that energy of who I am. And so that's what I mean by a lifestyle photo. And here's what I want to tell you why they're important. So number one, you want to use this lifestyle photo on your website, all your social media, one consistent, incredible photo. Like you have that really fun, bright one of you in the yellow. And I think that why it's important is I used to go to some of my colleagues' websites, and the video on the top, they've got short hair, halfway down the page, they have different color hair, then at the bottom, it's an older photo. And I'm like, is this the same person? So the branding, we're all branding ourselves personally. Our branding, our image has to be consistent. And you might be like, gosh, people are so tired of this picture, but really they're not. They recognize who you are immediately. So I have 2 pictures that I interchange. One is like more of a production picture. It's got some cameras around it.
Yes.
I'm doing more coaching. I use the other one. So if you want to have 2 pictures, you can have 2, but that lifestyle photo is really important so that people recognize you. we are not as recognizable as we think that we are. So we really need to make sure we use consistent branding across every platform. And that lifestyle picture is a big part of that.
Yes. And it not just the branding, but also it shows your personality. If you're doing a lifestyle photo, like you said, it's not a studio headshot like you would imagine for a real estate agent or something.
Right, or one of
It's
these.
a personality. So you want to make sure that that photo, when you look at it, you go, wow, they can really see who I am. Because today with technology, so many of us build relationships that sometimes we never even meet the person. I have clients that I've been working with for a year. I have never met in person. I have people that I talk to. That's why I prefer video calls like this for sales calls. I may never ever meet. So today, it's so much easier to connect through social media that you want to be able to connect with them. And when they see your personality, again, whatever fits for you. For me, it's my smile. So I connect with people through my smile. So I have a big smile in my picture. That's what connects. Other people, it might be something serious. Other people, it might be something goofy. But you want to really find who you are. And if you have a good photographer, they're brilliant. So your picture was brilliant. Like I saw it, it was so calming. Oh my God, she's so calm.
That was not a calm day either.
Yeah, I loved it.
And it's like, okay.
Yeah, you did good though. It was really fun.
Michael Bernard Beckwith, Barbara DeAngelis, these really well-known New York Times bestselling authors. He's like, come on outside, let's take this quick shot. So, but I mean, that's part of it. You're in the middle of the flow, you're doing your thing, you're in the energy of your expertise. And so you want your branding, your imaging to be in alignment with when you're doing your thing, right? And that's really, I think, the last piece of visibility that is easier, but it's also important. And we're really seeing this a lot in social media and Instagram. Don't be afraid to share parts of your life. I live in Santa Fe, New Mexico. So, I'll take pictures of my big teal wooden door, or, pictures of the Kiva fireplace, or I have, I'm an animal lover. So I have 2 horses I rescued from Facebook, 3 cats and 3 dogs, in addition to my kids. So, we've got quite the clan here. So sometimes I'll just take pictures of, my family. I mean, not a lot, but part of visibility is sharing little bits of yourself. I mean, not a lot. You don't have to take a picture of every meal or
unless it's related to your brand.
Right. This is true.
Because some people, that really is. For me, it's my lifestyle, Kristen. Yeah. For me, there isn't a concert that I don't do a Facebook Live. And honestly, Kristen as well, it comes from, we want to share what we love. So for me, there's almost rarely not a month that goes by that I'm not at a concert. So my audience is used to me doing a Facebook Live, and they're excited because so many people that are on my social media will never go to these concerts that I'm so blessed to go to every month. Right. And I love sharing that with people. And I also am big about my vacations because I love going away. My favorite thing in the world is concerts and vacation. So I share my concerts and I share my vacations.
Well, like the other day, I saw your post, you went to Disney World quickly.
Yes, Disneyland. Oh my God.
That's so fun. I love that about Galit. She takes the time to stay connected to her friends. She values her relationships. So it's something that speaks about you,
Yes. And that's what people can connect with. So I need everyone to watching to understand there is some kind of structure and consistency to visibility, but it also starts and ends with purpose and passion and wanting to connect with people. Kristen and I come from a place of intuition and a place of really wanting to serve this world. And so we are the kind of people that are out there sharing our lives and sharing our stories because we want those that are watching to connect with us and find a connection. Obviously, we also have businesses, we have families that we want to support, and you deserve to be paid for your value. It's so interesting to me, and I know we're not talking about that today because we're talking about visibility, but visibility actually will turn into clients, which turns into income. And there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody that's watching, please understand that.
Well, I think I learned this a lot when I had my wellness practice, that many of my practitioners didn't have like a prosperity consciousness. They were like, well, I'm helping people. I don't know if I feel right charging, or I'm charging too much. And I think that, you need to charge what you're worth. You've been through, if you are in, let's say, holistic medicine or energy healing, you paid money for your certification program, you traveled to learn from these teachers, you put a lot of time and energy in your life into cultivating the skills that allow you to offer these services to people. So there's value in your expertise and your experience. And I think that when we show up as the expert, there has to be an exchange. It's interesting. I did that documentary film in Peru, and these are with the shamans of the high Andes. These are the, indigenous tribe. And in these ancient spiritual practices, they always believe in something that's called Aini. And Aini is the law of reciprocity. It's the law of balance. It's the give and receive. So what happens is, if you never receive money for your services, then the people who are receiving your services do not benefit, because there's no flow. There's no energetic exchange. Yes. And the thing that somebody said to me once when I was very first getting started, you're not investing in me. Okay. You're investing in yourself through me. So what happens is, when we invest in ourselves through a coach or a mentor, we are investing in our own personal transformation, our own personal growth, our own expansion, our own belief in our ability to become the vision that we have for ourselves. So I just think when we shift just a little bit, that's just a tiny little tweak, makes it a lot easier.
And there are so many people out there that don't recognize that when they do not make that commitment to themselves or invest in themselves, they're actually staying in the same place. Yeah. They're staying in the same place, and that those dreams that they have in their head, they never become the reality. And there's such a small, it's so tiny, that line between dream and reality, people don't realize it's so small. To just get through that wall, you just got to make that effort, make that commitment. And when you don't believe in yourself, try to find someone that does, because I know one of my favorite things to do is to believe in my clients until they do. So there's someone out there that will believe in you. And one thing about Kristen and I is we're very genuine and authentic. Everything we do is really meaningful. We do things because we truly want to help others. So please recognize this visibility piece is huge. So many people have a gift and they hide in their house and think, okay, I have a gift, but I'm not going to do anything with it. Or I'm not successful. Well, why are you not successful? Are you doing the things to be successful? I'm sorry. I always make this joke. Those women that are out there going, I want to meet Prince Charming. And I say, okay, great. So do you think he's just going to show up at your front door and ring the doorbell? Because more than likely he's not. Are you going out there and making yourself visible? That's the easiest example. Are you out there making yourself visible? Are you taking the steps to potentially meet that person? Think of your business like that. How are you ever going to meet the right client or be able to help somebody if you're not visible? So I think that the advice you gave is so great. And I want us to jump into some of the amazing events you have coming up. I actually was a part of one of her events in Las Vegas, which was so much fun and has already skyrocketed me to the next level of income for my speaking. So please tell them a little bit more about it, Kristen.
Galit, you were incredible. I really appreciate
thank you. I think you're incredible too.
I'm so excited to, be here and be able to share about this. When I got started in my career, one of the things that really helped me grow was speaking. Okay. So I got some invitations to be on different people's stages, and I was able to show up on those stages. And that has allowed me, over this last several years to generate more than $3 million in sales. So, I would have to say that speaking more than anything, because I've noticed a difference. I look at my kind of income and the trajectory, and I look at when I'm speaking and then what my income is, and then times when I was busy with the kids and I didn't do as much speaking. And I have to say, from a long-term analysis, that speaking is the key to more income, and just from my own experience, I don't know, have you found that yourself, that when you're on stage and you're speaking, you're just attracting more clients and more business?
Yes, for sure. And you don't have to decide to be a paid speaker to attract clients. There's so many programs out there that I work with my clients as well that are, I call it indirectly selling from the stage, and so many different things that you can do to attract your ideal client. I personally like getting paid to speak, so I'm out there getting paid. But a lot of people don't have to go if that's not something you're interested in. Some people like to inspire from the stage. That's fine too. But what Kristen's talking about is visibility and being in front of the masses. For me, it's all about impact. So when you're in front of one person at a time, it's great. We love our personal coaching, don't get me wrong. But when you're in front of 50 or 100 or 200, now you're not just making an impact on them. They're going home and telling people that are telling people that are telling people, right? It's like a never ending.
Well, like tomorrow, I'm getting up in the morning in Santa Fe and I'm driving to Sedona. I'm speaking at an event there, and there's 60 people in person and about 120 people virtual. So, I've got this presentation planned, and, my offer is 3,500. So we'll see, how many people sign up for this special offer I put together for this group. It's a group of authors. But my point is that what I've learned is that in terms of visibility, speaking, whether it's motivational, inspirational, educational, that opens the doors to just growing your business, growing your practice. And so I'm all about solving problems for people, it's like, and so many of my clients are like, gosh, I want to break into speaking, but I don't have any proof that I'm a good speaker. Like, I know in my heart I could be a good speaker, and maybe I've spoken a couple places, but I never really got the video footage, or it didn't look very good, or the audio was bad. It's not something I'm proud enough of to share. And so I know that I can do this. I know I have a powerful voice. I'm passionate. I love what I'm doing, but I have no proof. It's kind of like, that
and
thing.
You don't get hired unless somebody's got proof. It's what it is.
Right. And it's the same thing with, TV news. And I say this all the time because, I worked in TV newsrooms. All media doors open from the inside. So what that means is once you get on TV, you get on more TV. I mean, Galit, you're on TV on the morning shows. Like, once you get on a lot.
Yes, I'm consistent now, once to twice a month. Yeah.
Right. You got to get on that first time. And so it's just like, you got to get on that first stage. And, it can take months or years or never if you don't have the right proof that you have a clear message, that you have confidence, that you have presence on stage. And so, my clients kept going on and on about this. And I realized there were so many speaker trainers out there, but no one actually helps you make the video. And I thought, what, gosh, I probably could do this. My background is TV news. I produce documentaries. I have, 2 TV shows. One's on Amazon Prime. The other one's on Amazon Prime too. It's called The Ripple Effect, but it's an older one. I thought, my crew lives in Las Vegas. They're incredible. He does all the production for Pink and Cher, and, he's done movies for George Clooney. So, I have this awesome team. And I said, I can solve this problem for my clients. I mean, my whole business has been, let me solve a problem that comes up. And so I created, a program that I call Rock the Stage Las Vegas. And it's very straightforward. It is basically video production for motivational speakers. So there's training ahead of time. I know, Galit, you and I are going to be running a boot camp, before this next upcoming session in May. But basically, I will help you come up with a topic, your hook, and then Galit will help you with the performance and putting it together. And then you'll show up on my stage. I have a couple dates left coming up. It books out so fast. So I had just added another date. And there's 3 cameras. I mean, it is like a motivational speaker's.
You feel like a movie star. So I'm going to jump in for a second. So check out Rock the Stage. Is it rockthestage.com?
It's Rock the Stage Las Vegas.
Las Vegas, thank you. RockTheStageLasVegas.com. But I have to jump in because the reason that I have Kristen on today is because I work with speakers, many of you know, and I take them actually from, okay, I've got an idea and I'm talking locally to what do I need to do to get hired? Well, one of the things I teach my clients is you need a very, very valuable reel, something that really shows who you are. But I don't produce reels and I'm not interested in producing reels. So the reason that Kristen and I connected is because I have speakers that I'm like, please get them a reel because I'm working on the back behind the scenes. Their keynotes, what they should have together, their speaker sheet, their press media kit, how to get them visible. And Kristen's like, just send them to me and I'll get them the video. So I'm going to share with you a personal experience before we go. My personal experience, and I've been very blessed to speak on the stage at least a dozen times in the last year, is that I have 5 videos of me speaking such amazing topics that passion and I mean, wow, and I can't use any of them. It's like
all the time.
People eating, talking, picking up their glasses, heads in the way. And I said, oh my gosh. So Kristen reached out to me and she goes, Khalid, look, I've got this opportunity. You've got to be a part of. I said, I'm in. So I got to stand on a stage in front of a full audience that is participating, as well as have 3 cameras, the right lighting, the right microphone, and the right editing. So now I have another video that I can add on, and my editor right now is piecing together my reel. My reel is going to be done by next week. And I'm so excited because I had 1 or 2 other events that I did that got professional, but I needed this one because I didn't just get recorded on my talk. Kristen also interviewed me in a very professional setting with the right lights and so on. So when I work with my clients, we don't just piece together talks, we piece together personality pieces. We piece together TV appearances. So she interviewed us. I got testimonials, which are huge in a video, as well as I got this professional audience, stage, and engagement. So I actually don't promote a lot of people. I'm promoting Kristen because I think what she's doing catapults. She had very brand new beginners. I need to share this with you. She had people that had never spoken on the stage that they did awesome, but they were so nervous and so adorable. And then she had people like me and another guy that were so professional. One of her guys is getting 10 grand a speaking engagement, and he still found value because it takes him to the next level.
Yeah. Well, actually, it's, you know what, he's an incredible speaker and he's been,
I adore him.
Yeah. John Livesey. He's great. You can see his sizzle reel. We just did a new sizzle reel for him. And he was getting paid, you know, about $7,500 a talk. He had the same problem as you. He'd done a lot of talks, but he just didn't have enough good footage. You know, there'd be the footage of him on the stage, but no audience, or the sound was off, or it was too dark. It's just, I cannot stress how challenging it is to get a high quality speakers video. And I think that's why, I mean, I'm just getting contacted now every day from, you know, speakers, agents and bureaus who are like, can we send you these potential clients? We love them. We love their content, but they have no video. So we can't book them for, you know, these corporate talks. And so John Livesey, classic example, you know, he was getting paid about $7,500 a talk, which is pretty standard. And right after we added in just the interview, not even his whole talk on the stage, just the little lifestyle interview. I did an interview for him out at the ocean in California in Pacific Palisades. Boom, $12,500. I mean, like within 24 hours of adding that interview.
No, the value's there, and the rate of return is one speaking engagement.
And it's fast. It's fast. I mean, seriously, I think one of the things too, you know, our good friend and colleague, Carrie Millspaw, you know, she's a speaker's agent, and I'm doing a call with her later today. And she just said that they are wanting, these corporations want fresh faces. They want fresh voices. They want new stories. You know, they're tired of the same old people that have been there 10, 20 times. You know, it's interesting. I did some research recently on the personal development industry. And this is a $9.9 billion industry that's growing at 6% a year. So $1 billion of this industry is motivational speaking. $1 billion industry. And guess how many speakers are in that $1 billion part of the industry? Only 5,000. 5,000. Okay, so to put that in context, there's over 1 million self-published books a year, according to Publishers Weekly, but there's only 5,000 speakers, give or take, who are really—
And that's the visibility piece. That's right. The visibility and the credibility. And that's probably why I found this niche, because so many people are out there and their story is not being heard and they're not being seen and they don't know where to even start to become a professional speaker. So what I love about us is that between my prepping them and getting them ready, a lot of the women and men that come to me, they're already speakers. I'm not teaching them how to be speakers. I'm showing them how to package themselves and become credible. But Kristen's piece is such an important piece, because I will share with you, I did a talk a few weeks ago in front of 200 at an awards ceremony, and I had it recorded, but only one camera, which means they only see me on stage the whole time and not the audience. So Kristen's piece with the 3 cameras gave me one from the left, then a little from the right, then a little bit from the front, then up close. And I know this sounds silly, but this is what makes a production. So if you think of a movie, if there's only one camera from one spot, how interesting is that movie going to be?
It's like Flat Stanley.
Yeah, oh my God.
And plus you're not getting the audience.
Oh my gosh.
Is you need that audience that's like, wow, I love this talk. They're enthralled. I mean, I remember your audience, Galit, and they were just mesmerized. They they barely moved, they were just hanging on your every word. And you want to capture that.
Their faces, their remarks, that there's something there that's so worth it, because getting a production, like I said, I have multiple events where I have one camera and I get to wear a microphone, and it's a very professional piece, and I'm using that because I don't like just to use one speech, so I'll have 3 or 4, but right. Kristen's allows me to show them more facets of myself and a little bit more about my personality through the interview. So there's a lot of pieces there that are very, very valuable. And once again, we started talking at the beginning about investment. What I want to share more than anything, and I'm going to let Kristen wrap up and we'll say goodbye, is this. If you think for any moment, and I'm a businesswoman and Kristen's a businesswoman, we've owned businesses our whole life. If you think for a moment that you can get to the next level without investing money in yourself and in your business, you're dreaming, because it doesn't work that way. Every time I start a new business, I have to invest money in it and recognize it could take up to 2 years to get that investment back. That is typical business lingo. That is normal out. When you buy a business, why do you pay the value of the income, the net income, for 2 years? That's how they sell businesses. So they figure out what they're going to make in 2 years, and that's what they charge. So I want you to think in that piece for a second. If you're hesitating investing in yourself, you need to recognize you're going to stay in the same spot. Kristen just gave us some amazing numbers I didn't even know. It made me feel really good because I'm a motivational speaker. So it made me feel real good to know that there's so much opportunity that people are not taking.
It's huge. It's so huge, and I think that the thing about investing, I've always reinvested in my business, and that's why my business has always grown. I mean, I'm even going to this event, but I'm investing, I have to pay for my hotel room.
Yes.
We had to rent a little room for breakout sessions. Like, we had to do some other things around it. Like, the red carpet was rolled out for me, but also I'm showing up with my purse, right? Like, I'm investing in myself along the way. And, I think that the way that I really describe it to my authors that I work with is that, an online business is no different than an in-person business, a brick and mortar business. Okay. So you literally have to select your location, which is like selecting your brand, pick your territory, sign a lease, commit to it. You have to commit to what you're doing. Then you have to decide, what it's going to look like and what are you going to have in your inventory. So what are your programs, products, or services? If it was an online, regular business, where you're having clothing or candles or kitchen supplies. And so you set all this up, but this business doesn't happen overnight. You may be building that brick and mortar business 3 months, 6 months, getting it all ready. And then when you're finally ready to open the doors, is there a line of customers waiting outside of your new brick and mortar business to just come in and buy all your inventory the first day? Maybe. Or does it grow over time because you're doing marketing, because you're doing visibility, because you're posting, your new outfits on Facebook or what have you, or your online business, you're posting little bits of your courses or events that you have coming up, or you're doing conversations like this one. So, again, there's no magic bullet, but there is a lot of magic. So I think that the universe, from a spiritual perspective, responds to us when we show up. So when we're in the flow and we have our stuff created and we are ready, opportunity just swoops in and meets us. That's how my first show ended up, on Amazon. I went ahead and created it, and someone came along. She's like, I need content. And the minute it was done, within a week, it's on TV. But if I hadn't made it, then it wouldn't have been ready, because she needed content within 30 days, and I had 7 episodes. They were in the can, and I think that this is this same thing. And this is how I broke into TV news. You show up dressed, ready, professional, with your package put together. And then eventually it's just a no-brainer. Of course, you're going to be the speaker. Of course, you're going to be the journalist. Of course, you're going to be the coach, because you're there. You're already doing it. It just took that little click to put you front stage.
Yes. Oh, wonderful. Well, thank you so much. I know we gave way more than we anticipated to today, but we wanted to be able to share as much as we could with you guys. I want you to check out rockthestagelasvegas.com. You can also private message me, anybody that is watching that knows me, and I'll directly connect you with Kristen as well. And thank you so much, Kristen.
Thank you, Galit. I really appreciate it. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thank you so much for watching another week of Women Empowering Women.